have been ordered to shut down the government and hurt everyday Americans all across this country.
The Federal Reserve Board cutting interest rates by 1/4 point today, but the Fed chair signaled there will be fewer rate cuts in 2025, and they will be determined by how much inflation cools. Santa Ana winds returning to Southern California, raising the threat of wildfires and a winter storm on the move in the Northeast. This is ABC News.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, WGBW.FM. For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Winter Storm Asher is expected to arrive in northeast Wisconsin Thursday morning, dumping between 4 and 7 inches of snow on the area. Snowfall is expected to start mid-morning Thursday and continue through the early morning hours of Friday. Travel will be hazardous. With a snowstorm on the way tomorrow, meteorologist Brittany Merlot has details on an app that lets you see just how bad the roads are.
Did you know that you can check out real-time road conditions on an app? It's Wisconsin's 511 mobile app showing current conditions on roads across the state. You'll see categories ranging from normal to partially covered and completely covered. There are also areas showing where travel is not advised. New this year, they removed the slippery stretches and ice-covered roads. So be aware, they'll still exist, but they will not be noted in this service. 511 Wisconsin first launched 15 years ago in 2009. And the free travel information system has evolved over the years with its web and smartphone capabilities. Drivers can now access live streaming video through hundreds of traffic cameras across the state to view the road conditions yourself, spanning more than 14,000 miles of roadway. And as always, take your time and drive safe.
A De Pere Police Department detective has resigned after being the subject of an internal investigation. De Pere Police Chief Jeremy Mursaki filed charges against Steve Yetica with the city's Police and Fire Commission, which is its disciplinary board. He sought Yetica's termination. The complaint claims Yetica engaged in, quote, seriously deficient job performance and failed to investigate a potential homicide case. A hearing with the Police and Fire Commission has been canceled now that Yetica has resigned. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
The Bucks win the NBA Cup. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks, with a strong second half, beat the Oklahoma City Thunder by 16 points. The final 97-81. Bucks owner Wes Edens was there in Las Vegas with the team to accept the NBA Cup trophy.
It is so sweet and it's so great to be here. You know, last year it all happened kind of fast. We were very happy to be here. This year when they came in, they were here to do the business, finish the job, and they did it tonight.
Giannis blocking shots, passing the ball, finished with 26 points, and named the tournament's MVP.
We came out in the third quarter, we set the tone, we played great team basketball, we were moving the ball, guys were making shots, but most importantly, we were competing defensively. That's who we are. We are going to improve, and we're going to stay like team because job is not done.
College football, Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator fired by the Badgers last month, has a new job, head coach at Sam Houston University in Huntsville, Texas. Receivers Will Pauling and C.J. Williams leaving Wisconsin, entering the transfer portal. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Winter storm warning for 5 to 10 inches of snow starting late tonight and through Thursday night. Some blowing snow with a gusty breeze. Low tonight in the mid-teens, high tomorrow upper 20s. Colder for the rest of the week and into the weekend. It's 24 right now.
In the market for a home loan? It's time to meet Kristen Ambos, the top 1% of loan originators in the U.S. and the #1 female loan officer in Wisconsin for 2 years running. With over 20 years experience, Kristen and Point Mortgage Corporation are here to serve all of your lending needs, from conventional to FHA, USDA, and VA loans. Plus, with their rate match guarantee, if they can't beat your pre-approved rate, they'll pay you $500. Call Kristen Ambos today at 920-606-1156 and let her and Point Mortgage make your home ownership dreams come true.
The Todd Alba Show.
Luke Mathers, you let the dogs out.
I let the dogs out. It was me. After about 15 minutes, I go out there and I'm like, what is this mound? An opossum playing dead in the middle of the yard. I'm out there kind of hollering, like trying to corral the dogs. And then we finally got Aurora to come in the house, stepped away for a little bit, came back and was gone. I really hope that it remembers this traumatic experience and never comes back in my yard again.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
The next New Wisco weekend is all about the winter holidays. I'm Lisa Hale. Join Terry Barr and myself as we take a closer look at solstice, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Hanukkah.
Saturday morning at 8. Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy who writes checks his mouth can't cash, Pete Schwaba.
I'm not laughing at my own line that I wrote. I'm laughing at the way Todd delivers it. It's so funny. He is the voice of the network, ladies and gentlemen, Todd Michaels. He is also the producer of the Mino and the Mayor Show here in the mornings. Check it out if you haven't. WGBW and WISS every morning. They do a great job. The threesome. Hey, welcome to Nite Lite. This is a Wednesday edition. It is Hump Day, the week before Christmas. That's pretty exciting. Very cold out there, getting blustery. We are preparing for horrible weather, as I understand it. And make your plans accordingly, folks, but that doesn't mean you can't get Nite Lite every night from 6 to 8. We will be here, rain or shine. We never close, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Conrad, how you doing tonight?
You know, I'm doing good. I got all my Christmas shopping done today.
Really?
Finally, yeah.
Did you do it online or was it?
Yeah, it was online.
Okay.
I did. I didn't buy anything actually in person for Christmas shopping.
Is that a first?
I think so. Like, because usually I'll go to like some store for Black Friday. This year I didn't.
It's so weird. You can't. It's like we just get lazier and lazier because of our devices. It's so easy to Christmas. Like, why would you want to go and stand in line behind someone who's doing or asking something crazy and be annoyed at shoppers? And I mean, it's so easy to do that.
Did I tell you? First time I did this, actually, I ordered all of my groceries at Walmart and they delivered it to my doorstep.
Oh, we did that during COVID.
It was amazing.
I know.
I was
Aldi
like, wait,
did that too.
Why didn't I do this before?
I never need to see anybody again.
Exactly.
I love the phrase. Kurt Vonnegut said something great. His wife said, why don't you just, he said, I got to go mail a letter at the post office. And she said, we have stamps here. And he said, no, man was not meant to just stay in his house all the time. Man was meant to go out and fart around. That was its exact quote. And I just love it. So the minute you feel like you're getting too jaded to go out and be with humanity, that's when you got to fight it. But having said that, that's not scolding you. I'm glad you got your Christmas shopping done.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. And not cutting it too close to the wire either. The week before, that's pretty good.
Well, one of them's coming one day before I have to go to Christmas. So.
And who is that for?
It's my sister-in-law's sister.
You're buying a gift for your sister-in-law's sister?
It's a whole gift exchange. You know? We
Like
draw a name.
Grab bag, yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's a wide network.
It is, yeah.
My sister-in-law's sister's best friend's cousin. That's kind of cool.
Yep. She
Well,
wanted a
good for you, man.
Snuggie.
That's awesome. A Snuggie. I've never tried one. I've never had the pleasure.
I was just kidding about the cousin thing, way over there.
All right. We have a really fun show tonight. I'm excited. I've been trying to have this first guest on. He's coming on at 6:35, James Maloff. He is part of the Civic Media team. He's the program director at WFHR and a morning host over there, and he is going to be on the show tonight. He's also an actor. So we'll talk to James about radio and acting and get to know him a little bit. I'm excited to have him on the show tonight. And then I have one question for you, listeners and Conrad. Are you ready to rock? Conrad,
let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
No, kill that.
You said question. I'm sorry.
No, I'm introducing the guests. I'm teasing the guests. But
You said question. That triggered me.
You just hear question, you go right to the. We'll get to that. I
Yeah.
appreciate the enthusiasm, but no, our guest tonight, Radio for Pets, they will be here and they are going to rock the place. Are they coming in at 7:05 or 7:20?
7:20.
7:20. Really?
Yep.
I don't know if that's enough time for Radio for Pets.
They did 4 segments last time.
Yeah, they did, and they played like 3 songs, and it was awesome.
It
That's all
was.
right. We'll adjust. We'll get them. If they get here a little early, we can get them on early. That's fine. I'm just happy to have them here. They're so great. They're a punk band, Green Bay-based, and kind of Marinette Menominee-based. So we'll have them in studio. Very excited for these guys. I really believe they're going places. They've got upcoming shows to talk about. They're also looking for a new drummer, which is kind of cool.
I'm ready.
Yeah, get the sticks out, man.
I actually did try drumming when I was younger. My parents got me a drum set, and then maybe
Yeah.
touched it twice.
Yeah, I don't know that qualifies you to be their drummer, but hey.
Hey, I had a drum set.
It's worth a try. So there you go. Great guest. James Maylaw from WFHR here in Wisconsin on the Civic Media Network and Radio for Pets in studio. Very exciting. It's like Christmas came early with these guests. And since Conrad is so anxious, let's get to tonight's question.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question. Pregunta. Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question. Questions.
What is your favorite Spielberg film? It is Steven Spielberg's birthday today. I believe he turns 78 or 79. One of the most prolific filmmakers in Hollywood. He makes blockbusters, but he's also made some really cool, more indie-leaning films, too, that a lot of people probably don't know about. So Steven Spielberg, a titan in show business, I figured we had to have a question. And he's made enough movies where even a novice moviegoer would probably know his work. So that's our question of the night. What is your favorite Steven Spielberg film? Let us know at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can text us on the app. You can text us on the stream. How can people text us on the stream, Conrad?
Yeah, so we're on Facebook, WISS, WGBW, and Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. On YouTube, we're WGBW or Civic Media. And on Twitter, Civic Media or WGBW.
Message us any way you can, folks, but don't hold back. Just message us, and we'll read your text on the radio. I'll start off. I'm not a huge... He's not like my favorite filmmaker, but it's hard to argue with his track record and his longevity in the entertainment business. But I'm going to say my favorite Steven Spielberg film is a movie called Duel with Dennis Weaver, where he gets into kind of a cat and mouse game with a truck driver driving through, I think it's the West. I saw this movie 30 years ago, probably, maybe longer. I think I was a kid when I saw it with my dad. And it was just on like the movie of the week or whatever. But what a cool movie. I remember being really freaked out when I saw it, like that could happen, like where a trucker just gets it in his head that he's going to try to make you crash or go off the road. And they battle or duel throughout the film. Really good film from like the early 70s, maybe 1971. A close second would be Catch Me If You Can.
Yes.
Love the movie. Leo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks. Absolutely almost a flawless film, in my opinion. And this one might be controversial. I loved War of the Worlds, the remake with Tom Cruise. I thought it was great. And I know audiences, like on Rotten Tomatoes, I looked it up earlier, it got like a 42% from audiences. Did much better with critics. And it's, maybe hard to watch at times. But I loved it. I thought it was really good. And then a fourth place consolation, I have to go with one of the I'm not even going to pick which one. Insert Indiana Jones film here because it's just such a fun franchise. And the first two were great, I thought. It's just like the perfect movie theater movie. So let me know what your favorite Steven Spielberg movie is tonight. That's our question of the night. Conrad, what do you think? Where are you going?
When I was thinking about this before, I totally forgot that Catch Me is his film. Catch Me If You Can. So that's my number one. That's my favorite movie of all time, actually.
Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah,
nice.
I love that movie. I can put it on any time, and I'm just invested into the story every single time again.
Yeah.
It's so good. But a second is for me is Ready Player One, which is based on a book, and it's about like in the future, like 2045, I believe. Everyone just escapes through virtual reality, and it's all like huge place where people all can meet, kind of like what Meta is doing, I guess.
Yeah.
But more advanced than the movie. And the creator of it, before he died, passes a message saying, "Whoever finds my golden egg will win my company, my everything."
Huh.
So that's like the whole movie is like everyone trying to figure it out, So
I have not seen that.
One of my favorite movies in the past decade, I'd say. It's great. And I liked it so much that I read the book and I started reading the second one as well.
You're one of the few people, not few people, I don't take a survey, it's not scientific, but you seem to gravitate towards the book after you see the movie, which is interesting.
Because my mom used to read a lot, or she just still does, but she'd always say that Harry Potter movies aren't identical to the book.
Yeah.
And I'd always be like, I wonder if the book is actually like this or not, or how much they made a difference in the movie,
I am curious to see this. I have not seen Ready Player One. I hadn't even heard of it. But the actor, when I was at that wedding this past weekend in Chicago, my son and I were watching Mud, Matthew McConaughey and Ty Sheridan, a really good movie, kind of a hidden gem that I really enjoyed. That was my second time seeing it. And Ty Sheridan is in Ready Player One. I thought he was really good in Mud. But yeah, I'll have to check this out. It looks pretty cool. But let us know what your favorite Spielberg film is. He's certainly got a big enough library to choose from. I apologize for my voice ahead of time. I have the chills. I'm wearing my coat tonight.
Yeah, if you're
which
in
is
the stream, you're like looking at Pete with a coat on.
I'm like ready for action here. No, I went home last night and I literally sat in the shower for 20 minutes, and that is the way to do it, folks. My water bill will be $1,000 next month, but I don't care. It feels great. And here I was shooting my mouth off to everybody saying I hadn't been sick since before COVID. I don't think I've had COVID. At least I've never tested positive for it. And then I'm in a car all weekend with my wife coughing because she was sick. And I'm like, it was just a matter of time. So I'm not totally sick. I feel a little under the weather, but we'll get through this. I'm talking about myself like I fought in a war or something. So I got texts from you, Conrad. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about a couple things. Thank you for the reminder. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not taken part in Civic Media's latest Text to Win contest, it's the grown-up gift list. Listen weekdays at 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. for the keywords to text for your chance to win in our grown-up gift list, statewide Text to Win contest. You could win $100 cash, a Chula Vista overnight stay, and be entered to win in one of 8 grand prizes on our grown-up gift list, including new luggage, a humidifier, and a remote vacuum. All very practical items. The overnight stay is nice, too, and who doesn't need $100 cash? You just get the keyword, folks, and then you text in, and you're eligible to win. It's a great contest. James Maloff is here, and Radio for Pets is in the studio. It's going to be exciting. When we come back, I'm going to tell you what creature someone says could take over the world. You're not going to want to miss this. If humans go extinct, this is the creature, and that's coming up next on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Let's get back to live music in the Lair with Kaylin Cole. The next song you have for us tonight is called 1103.
Yes.
Is that a time or a flight number?
Oh, that's actually really good. That's a good idea. I think I might have to write another song with that. You'll get 50%.
It's live in the Lair. Grab the podcast now at maxincradio.com and listen live on Saturday nights, 6 to midnight across the Civic Media Radio Network.
Are you ever questioning when life will slow down? Are you ever thinking of just relaxing and enjoying the simple things? All of this is possible, even while still being in the workforce. Worthington, Minnesota is a town growing, yet it's nothing like metro life. Professional and labor jobs, a beautiful lake, bike trails, recreation, acres of public hunting, festivals, and great people. Slow down. We're just a short drive away, so come join us. Worthington, it's worth a look.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. Big news in Wisconsin this month, as much of the controversial anti-union Act 10 law was struck down in a ruling by Dane County Circuit Court Judge Jacob Frost. 2 takeaways on this. 1, the ruling gets at the heart of what has always made this law so brazenly political, by defining public safety employees differently from general public employees. That decision was pretty clearly made not based on across-the-board policy, but on which unions backed Scott Walker for governor in 2010. It would be fitting if that is what ultimately spells the end for this controversial law. Secondly, this case is headed to an appeal, which almost certainly will end up at the Wisconsin Supreme Court. While this case still might be decided by the court's current 4-3 liberal majority, it's a good reminder of just how important the upcoming race for state Supreme Court will be.
Find all of Dan's work at the
I get so lost sometimes.
Welcome back. Our question tonight is, what is your favorite Steven Spielberg movie? It is the famed director's birthday. He turns 78, I believe, today. And that's our question of the night. He's got a big enough body of work where I feel like even people who haven't seen a ton of films will know or have a favorite of his. So kicking things off is Eric from Lodi. He says, just for the sheer classic fun of it, is Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's kind of how I feel, Eric. But he says, but Schindler's List was his most impactful and devastating film for me. Hard to argue with that as well. Great film. But yeah, I think Raiders of the Lost Ark, to me, that might be the defining film of my childhood as far as going to a theater and watching a movie with a packed house and everybody just so into it. Such a fun film. Great leading man in Harrison Ford. Great other characters in the film surrounding him. Just a really fun film. Eric also agrees with Conrad. Ready Player One is great. Eric from Lodi has seen everything.
He has.
He might know everything.
I wonder if he's read the second book as well.
I wouldn't doubt it. Monica from Mount Horeb, she's in the 608. She says, had to look up the list. Bridge of Spies or The Color Purple. Color Purple is another great one. You know, and maybe that would be up there for me, but I haven't seen it in so long. And I think I saw it incrementally, which is a tough way to watch a movie, but great answer. Monica. Anna in Madison, she says, hi, Pete and Conrad. My favorite Steven Spielberg movie is Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks was outstanding. It's a very emotional movie. I agree. And Tom Hanks was great, but the peripheral characters or the supporting cast in that film, to me, stole the movie too. Like, Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks. So sometimes he's so good, I don't even notice his performances. And it's the people around him that stand out because I'm so used to Tom Hanks. It's like expecting a good game out of Michael Jordan so that when other players step up, you recognize them even more almost. But I remember in Saving Private Ryan, it was Adam Goldberg was great. When he's in a fight, a knife fight with that Nazi, and he gets stabbed. I mean, it was just so powerful. And Giovanni Ribisi, the medic. Was he the medic or was he the guy that died? His stomach was bleeding? I can't even remember. It's been a while since I've seen the film. Ed Burns was in the movie. Ed Burns, I really like as an actor. Yeah, great answer, Anna. And then Todd Michaels weighs in and says Color Purple with 4 exclamation points. So you know Todd's not messing around. That is definitely his favorite film of Spielberg. Thank you, Todd. Steve, Conrad's dad, checking in, says Back to the Future is a great Spielberg original. Is that a Spielberg film? I thought it was Robert Zemeckis. Well, it's a great movie either way. So thank you for that, Steve. Yeah, I love Back to the Future. One of my favorite all-time movies, actually. Bridget from the 818 says The Color Purple. It touched me so deeply, could not hold back the tears. I usually don't cry at the movies. Incredible. I would say The Color Purple is our big winner so far. Eric from Lodi chimes in again and says, picking a favorite Spielberg movie is like picking a favorite Civic Media radio host. It just can't be done. I think we'll take like a 20-way tie, Eric. There's nothing wrong with that. And thank you for listening to all the shows so you can make that comment. That's awesome. Get in on the fun, folks. What is your favorite Steven Spielberg film? It is his birthday today, and that is our question tonight. So let us know. All right, so I read this article, and I couldn't believe this. I think it was on Yahoo Entertainment. And it said, in the event of an extinction where human beings are wiped off the face of the earth, octopuses would dominate. And a lot of people thought, this is from earth.com, actually, by way of Yahoo Entertainment. It said, no mammals would probably still exist, maybe whales, but I mean no land mammals, because some people might say primates, but they would probably suffer the same wrath of nature that humans would. And they said octopuses, this is crazy, 8-legged creatures. Tim Coulson, a professor at the University of Oxford, his argument hinges on that octopuses' dexterity, curiosity, ability to communicate with each other, and supreme intelligence. So the thinking would be they could create some kind of Atlantis underwater world, and they would be the dominant creatures left on Earth if humans are ever forced into extinction. I would not have guessed that. Now, octopuses, it says, only live 1.5 to 5 years is their life expectancy. So they got to strike while the iron is hot. They got to get a lot done. They don't have time to look at their phones or watch ESPN Sports Center every night. They've got things to do. That's crazy. I had no idea they were that intellectual, but they're great hunters. They can camouflage themselves. Have you ever seen an octopus up close, Conrad?
Yeah, I've
really.
I can't remember if I was. My cousin and I went octopus hunting in Australia or
underwater
fishing. Yeah, and he got inked.
Wait a minute.
That's a squid, isn't it? Or wait, I don't know.
Maybe, but maybe an octopus too. I don't know enough about octopuses.
Well, we caught one and it inked all over my cousin.
I have no desire to go underwater. It really creeps me out.
Yeah.
So I'm impressed that you did that.
Well, we were on a boat. No, we were on a boat. We caught it fishing, and then
So you weren't deep sea diving.
No.
All right.
No, definitely not.
I actually have more respect for you knowing that now, that you were not under the water and that you got inked. Wow, that's insane.
And then we cooked it up and tried it.
You ate it?
I did it. I couldn't do it because it just looked weird to me, but everyone else tried it.
Well, that's like calamari, right? Is squid.
Yeah, I haven't tried calamari either.
But seeing the octopus die and then eating it would be a different story. Like when they bring calamari out to your table, it's like, okay.
Well, I like fish, and I've caught fish before and ate them, so
sure.
But I can't say I've done the octopus route.
Great movies opening this weekend. There's a lot of great things coming to the theaters, and not typically like Christmas movies, but a lot of really cool films. The Brutalist opens in limited release. Couple family films, Sonic 3, King Mufasa, or just Mufasa, I think it's called. And the guy from Rebel Ridge plays the voice. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah. Versatile guy. And then The Fire Inside, about a female boxer from Flint, Michigan, who won the first gold medal in the Olympics. That sounds great. Nosferatu, if you're looking for something. And they're all reviewing well. Timothy Chalamet's film, A Complete Unknown, opens next Christmas Day next week. As does, what's the other one? Oh, Nosferatu opens Christmas Day too. All right. We are going to come right back, folks, with James Maloff. He will be here after Civic Media's award-winning news team tells you what's up. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Use a little more, and we will make it work.
Listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Record holiday travel numbers are projected for Wisconsin. According to the AAA, nearly 2.4 million Wisconsinites will travel 50 miles or more from home between December 21st and New Year's Day, breaking the previous all-time high set last year by over 76,000 people. Nearly 90% of those travelers will drive to their destinations. Nationally, AAA forecasts that 107 million people will take a holiday road trip of 50 miles plus, just missing the all-time mark set in 2019. They also expect air travel to set a new record this holiday season. Oshkosh Corporation's production of new delivery vehicles for the U.S. Postal Service is off to a rocky start. In an investigative piece, the Washington Post reports Oshkosh has delivered just 93 of the 3,000 next-generation delivery vehicles that were expected by the end of November. The story cites internal documents and communications from the company blaming the delays on an inability to calibrate the vehicle's airbags, leaking chassis, and problems securing bodies from Challenge Manufacturing in Michigan. Those issues were reportedly kept from the Postal Service.
Hey, James, I just want to do a quick sound check. You have your mic muted on StreamYard.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. Yeah, how's it going?
Good. Sounds good on this end?
Yes, sounds great.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Sounds good.
7.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. If you're a fan of the shows Baby Reindeer or Stranger Things, you might be interested in a new show that is being developed at Netflix. The Duffer Brothers, who created Stranger Things, and Veronica Tofilska, who created Baby Reindeer, are teaming up for a new show called Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. The episodic horror series will star Camilla Morrone and Adam DeMarco. If you're looking for a can't-miss film to watch over the holidays, it's probably not Netflix's new Carry On. Having said that, it is available from the comfort of your chair and is nonstop. If you can look past some plot logic, you'll probably be entertained as there is good action and it does move along nicely. The film stars Taron Egerton as a TSA agent who is being controlled by a terrorist organization led by Jason Bateman, who gets to show his incredible range as an actor. The film Carry On got an 80% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but only 60% of audiences liked it. I am definitely in the 40%, but check it out for yourself. Good premise, not so great execution. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is your hometown radio, refreshed, keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Winter storm warning for 5 to 10 inches of snow starting late tonight and through Thursday night. Some blowing snow with a gusty breeze. Low tonight in the mid-teens, high tomorrow upper 20s. Colder for the rest of the week and into the weekend. It's 24 right now.
Civic Media, Wisconsin's source for real news and great conversation, offers podcasts of all of our daily shows online and on demand. Simply go to civicmedia.us, click on daily shows, and choose the podcast that you want to download. Shows are updated daily, or you can save them and listen all at once. Our podcasts are sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. You are an organ donor, right? Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Learn more at heroicdeed.com.
The holidays are here, and it's nearly time to pick a present from our grown-up gift list with our Civic Media statewide text-to-win contest. Listen while you work for the keywords to text for your chance to win $100 cash, an overnight vacation at Chula Vista Resort, and be entered to win one of our grand prizes, a robot vacuum, new luggage, humidifier, espresso machine, and more on our grown-up gift list at civicmedia.us. Just download the Civic Media app and listen weekdays at 7, 11, 1, and 4 for your chance to win in our statewide contest. Earl Ingram.
On the next show, we'll go in the pharmacy to talk health and wellness with Dr. Omar. Then we'll be
There's nothing to get you more pumped up for a new segment in radio than Spandau Ballet. No, that's not Spandau Ballet. Who is that? That's the sampling one, right?
I mean, the song "Set Adrift."
Set
Memory
Adrift.
Bliss.
Yeah. All right. So that's not quite. Actually, I like Spandau Ballet, and I'm not terribly embarrassed to admit that. But Checking our text line again. Eric from Lodi. I'm sorry, Paula. Conrad's mom checks in. It's hard to pick just one. E.T., Bridge of Spies, and Catch Me If You Can. Great one, Paula. Neil from Glendale says, Saving Private Ryan, so powerful and exhausting. Wanted to take my dad with me to see it. He wouldn't go. He served in World War II, but in the Pacific. Said he lost too many friends in Europe, and the movie was too real for him. He was correct. That's Neil. Thank you, Neil. Sherry from Horicon says, good evening, Pete and Conrad. Good evening, Sherry. I agree, too. I know people that served like in Vietnam, and they didn't want to go see movies that dealt with Vietnam. And one of my friends, Ted, said, I don't want to see it because I've done okay dealing with it. So why would I go and put myself in that position and risk having some type of, episode where he has these horrible memories coming back to him? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is exciting. All right, Radio for Pets is here in the second hour. They're going to rock the studio like you have not heard this studio rocked. These guys are great. And right now I'm excited because this is the first time I've had this next guest on the show. I've been trying to get him on the show for a while, and we just couldn't make it work, but he is here tonight, and we made it work. James Maloff. He is the program director at WFHR in Wisconsin Rapids and part of the Civic Media family. James, how are you?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing very well. What's going on over in Wisconsin Rapids tonight that we need to know about?
Tonight, right now we've got we usually have you on right now, but tonight we actually have the Wisconsin head basketball coach Greg Gard, his sports show that he does weekly on Wednesdays. So we have that playing right now, but otherwise our team is resting because we'll be hard at it tomorrow with doing nonstop radio content and everything we do.
That's exciting too for Christmas. I love what they're doing here with the 24 hours of Christmas music. Everybody gets the day off. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's nice. For a lot of us that have been in radio for a long time, it's kind of nice. Didn't always used to be that way. It's kind of cool that you can give your staff that. It's good to see more of that just in the business world, really.
Right, for sure. Is there anything exciting in Wisconsin Rapids happening regarding Christmas over the next few days? Any big events coming up we can tell listeners about?
We've kind of gotten through a lot of our events. We have a number of signature events that we do that have kind of wrapped up for now, but we're all geared up for that for next year. We did have something really exciting kind of go on with our recently. It doesn't sound like a lot, but we had the lights put on our bridges. And they are the coolest looking thing. And they have really, I think, added to a lot of the energy, the vibe, and how the city looks. And I had the mayor, Wisconsin Rapids, on today on one of our shows and talking with him about it. It's one of the major things that most cities are trying to do right now in keeping people and bringing people in. And part of how you do that is having a city people want to be in. It's not rocket science, and it's not to necessarily say you make a town look pretty and everybody's going to move there, but it helps. It helps, keeping people in and giving people something, to be proud of for their area.
Definitely. It's such a beautiful town. I've been through there several times and just a great part of the state. All right. So tell me, how did you end up at the award-winning, I might add, WFHR? You guys won a slew of awards at the Wisconsin Broadcasting Awards. That's pretty exciting. And that must have made you proud as program director.
Beyond. Honestly, I walked into that. I've never been up for or won awards before or anything. So just being there, I already felt good. But then when we walked in and we get these pamphlets and everything, and I'm seeing that we're WBA members and things like that, I'm like, okay, well, we can't lose tonight. We're already good. We're already good. And then we did end up doing fairly well. And honestly, I know it's going to sound a little corny, but I felt so good for our listeners, for our team. And I don't mean just WFHR, but Civic. And what we're trying to do here and what Sage has invested in us emotionally, financially, obviously, making all of us proud and making the team proud and showing what we offer. That's what really felt good about it. I think awards are cool for what they are. And I think that they can do a lot of things for you as a career and all that. But at the end of the day, man, some of the stuff is a little silly. I'm a nut about acting and entertainment, and I've wanted to do it since I was 7. And I've watched the Oscars since I was a kid. But I'll be honest, it's never made sense to me how you decide this actor did better than this actor when they have to do completely universally different things to play these roles. It's one thing if you're saying, well, this is the best running back in football. Well, okay, they all played running back. That you're going against other running backs. How you compare, Tom Hanks' role in Philadelphia with, the people that he was up against that year. It's not. There's no it's hard to compare these things.
Right.
It's such an opinion-based thing, and as and most people know, there's a lot of other things involved with the politics and who and all that.
Yeah. No, that's very well said. I'm kind of with you. Like, I've won so few awards in my life. To put them up on the mantle, it would look sparse. So I just tuck them into my office.
I hope one day to have a reason to put a shelf up just for the no.
Well, you guys are on your way. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're also the host of the morning show. Do you like those hours? You like getting up that early?
I'm a night owl. My poor parents would tell you I've been like nocturnal since I was a baby. I just don't sleep at night. Doing a morning show is not always the greatest idea, let alone 2 morning shows like I do. I do an hour sunrise show on 105.5 WIRI, and then I go over to WFHR, do 2 hours there. Go right from that into recording Midday Magazine. But it's honestly, after a while of doing it, I like days off. I don't really know what to do with myself. And as far as I don't know if I'd choose different hours or not, but I like getting people at that time of day. I like the idea of being able to start people. I look at it as serious comedy. I look at it as trying to start people's day on a positive note. Not burying our head in the sand, but maybe not also spending 20 hours on a particular subject that is people are already tired of by the time they're waking up in the morning.
Yeah, great answer. I'm kind of with you. I'm a night owl, but I also love the early morning. So you kind of have to pick a lane when you're like that. But I mean, it is what it is, I guess. So I was looking up, kind of what you do and what you do in Wisconsin Rapids, and you're like a really busy guy there, but you also are an actor, as you mentioned. How is that? How is being an actor from Wisconsin Rapids? Because I've lived in 2 really huge cities. It's hard enough to do it when you're around it all the time. I can't even imagine. And, now I try to do it from here too, but how do you go about it? How do you get your name out there? How do you get recognized when you are in this kind of remote area?
I try to go viral. No,
don't we all? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time from Illinois and spent a lot of time and have a lot of connections in Chicago and do still talk with a lot of people down there in talent agencies. And I spent a good year or 2 in California and a little bit more time back and forth there. So I lean on some of those contacts. Okay. Nowadays, you're fortunate that there's a number of places and studios that do, let you do an audition on Zoom or Skype or something like that. It's not the same. And as you can tell from my IMDb page or lack thereof, it hasn't been working that well.
I'm looking you up right now.
There is, I'll save you time. There ain't nothing. But at the same time, I think that I wouldn't want to discourage anybody, because I do think that it's more possible now than it's ever been. Whether you're creating a YouTube page or whatever, not that we've seen anybody necessarily take that to the red carpet, but right. I think that those worlds are colliding more and more, whether we like it or not. I think that you're going to see more of that kind of thing happening. For me, the way I make it work is trying to travel to, especially Chicago or Milwaukee, Madison, anywhere I need to go for an audition, showing the effort and keeping at it. I think you'd know this even better than I would, maybe. But I feel like the biggest difference between the people that we know their names and we see them work consistently and the people we've never heard of, a lot of that has to do with connections and what your last name is. But more than anything, being relentless. Like I love radio. Radio has given me a home, a career. It has saved me in many ways. But acting is my passion. That's my love. And I'm relentless about it. I want to be one of the greats. I have nothing to stand on really as far as what I'm saying, but I don't feel any differently than when I was a kid. And I want to be one of the greats to ever do it. I want to constantly get better as an actor. I want to work with great people so I can get better. And in order to do that, you've got to have a career. You got to work in film, TV, and all that.
I absolutely love the honesty in that answer. That is fantastic. And it's interesting you say that because I kind of shelved acting for a while, and it was sort of COVID, and I signed with a new agency in Chicago, and COVID helped me. I go, oh, I can do this from here. I can put myself on tape. That's totally acceptable now. Whereas before, I remember driving to Chicago for auditions, and I'm like, I just didn't have the energy for it. So I think people like us have a second chance at all of this with doing stuff online, which is great. I saw that you've done some stage work too. What do you prefer when it comes to acting, live audiences or film?
If there are any film directors listening, film. If there, no, I honestly, I have a lot of respect for and getting to do a very little of it, but getting to do some work on film, TV, and movie and stuff. The things that I've gotten to do, it's a whole different art, and there's such a cool skill to it and energy to it. But there is, to me, in order to be good at this or to call yourself a true actor, you got to do it live. You got to be on stage, and there's nothing like you get one take, you go out there, you got to make it. You got to make it happen. I fell in love with theater really quickly, and I think I'd be all right if I'd never, worked in a lot of films or TV or anything. But I wouldn't be able to handle not doing theater. I love theater.
My guest is James Maloff. He is the program director at WFHR in Wisconsin Rapids, part of the Civic Media family, and the host of 2 morning shows there and a magazine show. And he's a very hardworking guy. What is the theater community like in central Wisconsin or Wisconsin Rapids now that we've gone there? Is there a healthy activity there?
Yeah. Actually, our local theater, Wisconsin, my second home, Wisconsin Rapids Community Theater, celebrating their 50th season. They just wrapped up auditions last night for Arsenic and Old Lace, which I auditioned for, and I don't know that it went well, which is really a shame because it's a dream role of mine. But that's going to go on with either way and be a great show. The theater community is great. The theater itself is really good. What I think is just as exciting is the creative community in this area, and the amount of creatives there are, and how you're seeing more and more. You brought up the pandemic. I think I'm a big believer in finding silver linings. I think some of the silver linings of that are people having a lot of time on their hands and realizing, oh, I'm a lot more creative than I thought. Or, you know what, maybe I want to make a couple of bucks less and I'll open an Etsy shop and, and I'll do that. There's such a vibrant creative community in this area. And we have the Central Wisconsin Cultural Center. We have a number of different places that I think embrace that and want to push that, want to give people that opportunity of, hey, we care about the arts. The way that it has been in the past, I think it's getting better, not just here, but around the state.
I agree. And I'm happy to hear that about Wisconsin Rapids, because where I live in the Marinette area, we have the Theater on the Bay, and it's been around probably 50, maybe even more than 50 years, but it's just a hub of culture. And now that the university has closed there, we're all like desperately trying to figure out a way to keep this in the community, because you're right, it's so important. It adds so much to a community. We're going to do a very quick break here, and then we will have more with James Maloff. Maybe I'll even ask him what his favorite Steven Spielberg
I got
is.
it.
All right, fantastic. We'll be right back with more Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me on this Wednesday night on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Stand by me. Not at all. Stand by me.
.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Mino and the Mayor.
You ever really want to get back at me?
Well, you're claustrophobic. That would really.
Oh, God.
Oh, that would be tough for you.
The worst.
You would talk like that.
Like
Get
that.
this.
Absolutely.
Get this. Put him in a drum and throw him in the water. He's claustrophobic and he can't swim.
Yeah.
I think we can get anything we wanted out of you.
Anything.
All right, Todd, mental note.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday morning 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 WISS. And on the Civic Media app.
From the Lake Shore to Lake Winnebago.
Door to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live. Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us. It's easy to listen to your favorite local radio station anytime. Download the Civic Media app from the Apple or Google Play Store, then
Get up home, I wanna drive them home. When you're feeling blue, thinking just of you.
Steve from Florida clarified, saying Steven Spielberg was executive producer for Back to the Future. That is right. That I remember that now. Speaking of being in the water, Spielberg's Jaws makes you hesitant about swimming in salt water. Didn't stop Conrad from eating a squid that had just inked his cousin. All right. My guest is James Maloff. He is the program director at WFHR in Wisconsin Rapids and part of the Civic Media broadcast network here. And he hosts a couple morning shows, and he's an actor. He's a very busy guy. And we've got him on Nite Lite now. So, James, the big question, what is your favorite Steven Spielberg film?
Raiders is a great mention. One of the first movies I saw in the theaters as a proud Jewish person, and maybe more importantly, the son of a Jewish mother. I have to mention Schindler's List. But in all seriousness, just one of the greatest films you'll ever see, let alone his work. And I love The Color Purple. I think it's a great one and such a unique movie. But I'm going off board, and I might be the only person doing this, but I'm going to say Hook.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will admit journalistic integrity. I am the biggest, if not one of the biggest Rob Williams fans you'll ever meet.
Okay.
He's if not the reason, one of the main reasons I'm an actor. I just loved his work. I liked him in that role so much. And the casting, it's actually one of my favorite Dustin Hoffman roles, just because it's such a unique play of Hook. We've never seen Hook like that, and him and Hoskins, their chemistry.
Bob Hoskins
is so great. It's just
Right.
and the kids in that movie, it's just a fun movie. I'm not saying it's his best. I don't know. How do you say when you're talking about such a game changer like Spielberg?
Yeah.
How you can say this movie, whether you're talking Jaws or any of these films that almost were genre changing, let alone game changing, and how many directors were influenced by him. It's tough to pick. I think you can't go wrong with a lot of his body of work. But for me, if I look at the one that stood out to me that I enjoyed the most, it was Hook.
That's great. I said War of the Worlds, the remake.
Oh,
I
it's a
really
good one,
liked it.
too.
And and a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I wouldn't say it's typically one of his most popular, but I love Duel. I mean, it's interesting what you say, because Jaws is considered oftentimes to be the movie that changed American cinema. It was the first blockbuster, and the auteurs and the directors that made films before that get annoyed when you talk about these big blockbusters. But Spielberg is great at those, and he's great at the smaller films. Like, I don't want to say Color Purple is a smaller film, but it's not a big, action blockbuster. Duel wasn't. It's hard to argue with his body of work, for sure.
I think there were directors, and there was some respect and attention in American cinema that the rest of the world was starting to pay. But I think it's because of a movie like that, and movies, that came before it and stuff too, that really all of a sudden made it to where we became the trendsetters in many ways. We became
Yeah.
the country that directors leave, or actors, directors, they come here to work. They come, and a lot of that.
Yep.
Not to say it all started with him and that, but it was a big part of it.
You mentioned Robin Williams. My question was going to be, who are your influences in radio and who are your influences in acting? I assume Robin Williams is one of your biggest, but do you have any others? And what about radio? Who did you look up to or aspire to be or take cues from?
Acting wise, I was 7. I saw Robin on Mork and Mindy, and he changed my life. I wanted to do what he could do for me in that moment. He took me out of what I was in, the moment I was in, and all that. Did something that I wish I'd had the chance to thank him for. I've always loved Denzel Washington and the work that he does. I love Jodie Foster a lot. I'm a big Jodie fan. I love Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman, especially in the sense that every time I watch him, I learn something. Since I saw Robin in that, and knowing pretty young on that I wasn't going to Juilliard, I wasn't going to get no scholarship for anything like that. I started from a real young age of just studying acting. Like if it's a commercial, if it's a movie, whatever it is, just trying to study these guys and learn as much as I can and soak up as much information from them. Same thing when in theater, where I'm working with good actors and I'm trying to learn from them and everything. Those actors I mentioned, every time I see them, whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, they don't get bad performances. Like there are, and some of those actors, like a Denzel or something, I'll make the argument they don't have a bad scene in their catalog, and you can look at a couple of actors like that. I think Paul Newman and certain actors have certainly done that in their career. But as far as our generations or anything, those are the guys that stand out to me. I really enjoy their work.
You're right. And it's interesting because I'm probably a writer first, and I feel like you're only as good as the script and as the material. Like you're right. Actors can do a bad scene, but if it's bad, it's typically not because of their acting. It's because the words are crap. They were given bad direction. I mean, I feel like, when you are a director, you need material. When you're a producer, you need material. Actors could probably improv and still entertain you. And if you write a script, at least you have that to read. But producers and directors need that material. So that's a very interesting answer. And Robin Williams is a guy you just can't not pay attention to. Whenever he's on stage doing stand-up or in a movie, you're watching him. And I totally agree about Denzel Washington, too. Can you stick around for a few minutes after the news?
Sure.
Can we keep you for a little longer? Okay, fantastic. We're having fun here tonight with James Maloff. He's part of the Civic Media family, the program director at WFHR. And we are going to do some news here. Civic Media will give you the information you need. It's the award-winning news team bringing you the news. And then we will be back with more of James Maloff and Radio for Pets. Conrad, you ready to rock?
My socks are going to be completely
I can
off.
tell. That comes across. All right, it's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Maggie Dawn.
Do you sometimes feel lonely around the holidays? We talk about how to combat that loneliness, as well as the New York City Unsent Letters Project. Next.
The Maggie Dawn Show, weekday afternoons from 2 till 4.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram. This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a civic media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. Trump speaks, and just like that, we're looking at a government shutdown at the end of the week. Congressional Republicans being pressured by the president-elect to drop the short-term funding measure negotiated with Democrats.
An agreement is an agreement. It was bipartisan, and there was nothing more to say.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries.
House Republicans will now own any harm that is visited upon the American people that results from a government shutdown.
The government runs out of funding early Saturday morning. The cost of money coming down a bit. The Federal Reserve cutting its benchmark interest rate another quarter point. In a major reversal, the House Ethics Committee voted to release the report on former Congressman and failed Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz. This is ABC News.
Oh, hello, Michael. Santa here. I need special gift ideas for my list this year. Any suggestions?
Hey, Santa, how about a Simple Life Hospitality gift certificate? It's the perfect present, flexible, thoughtful, and truly unique.
No, there's something different.
Our gift certificates are perfect for birthdays, holidays, or just because, with multiple amounts to fit any budget. Share the joy of this season. Give a Simple Life Hospitality gift certificate. Visit simpleliferentals.com.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
Hey, it's John Mino.
And Jim Schmidt from Mino and the Mayor.
Want to stay in the loop with all things Northeast Wisconsin? Sign up for the WGBW weekly newsletter.
Get the latest local stories, updates on the weather, and a special feature from our Mino and the Mayor podcast.
It's your one-stop shop for real news and great conversations in Northeast Wisconsin.
Log on to WGBW.FM today and get signed up.
Real news, great conversations. Sign up today at WGBW.FM/newsletter.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Governor Tony Evers and the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority announced 2 projects in Northeast Wisconsin will receive competitive funding from the Restore Main Street and Infrastructure Access Loan programs. The Plymouth project in Sheboygan County will receive an infrastructure access loan of about $3.4 million to add 94 housing units to that community. In Sturgeon Bay, the Cherry Lane project is eligible for $160,000 from Restore Main Street to rehabilitate housing on the 2nd or 3rd floors of an existing building with commercial space on the ground level. Once complete, that project will provide 8 additional housing units. These 2 awards are only a part of a more than $9.3 million investment supporting 9 different affordable housing developments statewide. This year, Summerfest has a brand new celebration planned. Stuart J. Waddles has more.
Summerfest is set to make history with its first Juneteenth Day celebration. The partnership with Northcott Neighborhood House will happen on June 19th. There will be a Juneteenth opening ceremony following the city's traditional Juneteenth parade and festival.
The Bucks beat the Thunder. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in first place in the Western Conference, the youngest team in the league. But last night, the Bucks shut them down, 97-81, to win the NBA Cup championship in Las Vegas. Doc Rivers asked during the trophy presentation, when did he know that they had a chance to win the Cup?
I think we knew this. We struggled coming out of the gates. No one here doubted what we can be and who we can be. And we just hung in there. We stuck together. And this is the byproduct of a team sticking together. But we still have work to do.
College football, add Will Pauling, the Badgers' leading receiver, to the list of players leaving Wisconsin and entering the transfer portal. In Green Bay, Matt LaFleur says one of his most improved players this season is wide receiver Christian Watson.
In every phase of the game, he's been A+. Guy is extremely intelligent. We can move him around. He rarely will have a mental error, and he's doing a good job of winning his one-on-one opportunities.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Winter storm warning for 5 to 10 inches of snow starting late tonight and through Thursday night. Some blowing snow with a gusty breeze. Low tonight in the mid-teens, high tomorrow upper 20s. Colder for the rest of the week and into the weekend. It's 24 right now.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Cindy from Appleton.
Time Magazine has made the convicted felon the man of the year this year. Shame on them.
Time Magazine base their person of the year on impact and like news making. The CEO assassination is pretty much the only news cycle that isn't entirely focused on Donald Trump, and yet it still relates to him because he has no healthcare policy.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app. John Mino and Jim Schmidt.
On Thursday's show, we'll get some holiday magic with Gizmo and former UW Green Bay basketball coach Todd Kowalczyk. Plus our friend.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who prefers to travel by catapult, Pete Schwaba.
Carrie from Tosa says, E.T. seemed like another game changer. Yeah, hard to argue with E.T. or Close Encounters. His Alien. He did great alien work, Spielberg. That's a great one, though, Carrie, and certainly a big-time moneymaker. Welcome back. We have James Maloff here from WFHR in Wisconsin Rapids, part of the Civic Media team and host of the morning show there, as well as several other shows. He's a very hardworking guy, and he's taking time out with us to be on Nite Lite tonight, which is exciting. James, I noticed, first of all, let's do this. You mentioned your acting influences. Was there anyone in radio you thought, oh, I want to sound like that, or I want to have that kind of show, or anyone who influenced you?
I'm one of those stories that starts, I shouldn't be here. I never thought I'd be in radio. I grew up listening to lots and lots of radio and did a lot of traveling growing up. So a lot of it with my pop and my grandfather, and he listened to Paul Harvey a lot. And I really liked his voice, his tone, his pace. I really enjoyed his storytelling. I would say that would definitely be an influence, but otherwise a lot of the sports guys at the Score in Chicago and so many of the local radio guys in this area here that I really would listen to when I first moved to Wisconsin and central Wisconsin in particular. I was like a lot of struggling actors, bouncing from jobs. And my mother saw a article in the newspaper that our local classic rock station was looking for a DJ. The only requirement was a resume and a cassette tape. Well, I didn't have it. One of the few times in my life I didn't have a tape player. So I gave them a VHS tape of a bunch of sketches that I did in high school just for something.
Oh, funny.
The program director at the time, Jim Ross, Panama, he brings me in. He tells me right away, he's like, I had to meet the guy that sent in as a resume VHS tape for radio. They gave me a kind of a window, like I'll have a couple months to get my feet wet, maybe find work somewhere else. They ended up hiring two of us. The other guy didn't make it, and here I am, 22 years later.
So is that what brought you to Wisconsin from Illinois?
No, I was a knucklehead as a kid. So I got sent up here to live with my grandparents for a while and get out of the city. And went back and forth for a little while, and then just went to high school out here and kind of had, friends and my family started moving up this way a little bit more. So just ended up spending more and more time here.
That's great. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about. First of all, before we go back, I want to ask you I have a couple Christmas movie questions for you, but also, you're in SAG. I noticed. I don't know if I saw that on LinkedIn or Facebook, but we're both in SAG. I used to be adamantly like I would never do a job outside of SAG or I'm also in the Writers Guild. I would never take a job. But when you don't work for a while. What I'm wondering is, would you take a job, and I'm getting you to admit this on radio.
Yeah. Thank you, Pete.
Would you take a job that's
great
not
to be here?
It's not a SAG job. Because I'll be honest, I think I would, and I don't think that the union would care that much. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm kind of under their radar. And I feel like if I saw a really cool part, and I've done this. I did a movie 2 years ago was the last time I did one, and it was a SAG thing. But I told myself I'd be here even if this wasn't SAG because it's a cool role. What would you do?
I couldn't do it.
Wow,
I'll say that. I'll say that only because, again, and I'm not saying I'm any different than anybody else who wants to do this. I don't mean it in that way, but I only know one speed, and for me, it's all or nothing. And
Okay.
I got into this to get to that level. I don't care about fame or having your name ahead of a title or anything like that, but I do care about getting better at this. And the only way for me to get better is to work with great actors, and they're all in film, they're all in TV. So to get to that level, I got to play the game. And for me, especially with my family and the way our luck can be, it would be my luck that I go this far, I get this much, and I do one thing. I do one like commercial or something and get, blackmailed or blackballed or something like that. I admit that that's a little bit of a part of what I'm saying. It's not all integrity that I'm saying this for or anything. But I would never tell another actor not to. And I would never, begrudge anybody for it. I wouldn't judge it. I completely get it. And I really understand what it's like to see a role and want it. I'm going through it right now. I miss working. Like I joke all the time that right now with all the high schools and schools we have around here, to our local theater teachers and everything, if they need like the third tree on the left, just somebody to stand up, like I'll do it right now. I just want to act. I miss acting.
It's funny, and let me be clear. I would take a role if I really loved it, if it was in an indie film here in Wisconsin. But if I got caught, I would fully accept the ramifications. I've dealt with SAG as on the other side, and they're tough. So I'm a union guy through and through, but I have to admit, one of my shortcomings, I probably would take a role. And if I got caught, I would just own up to it.
Right.
But so let me ask you this. Do you have any favorite Christmas movies, James?
There's some that I like. I'm a fan of a lot of the classics, and I do like Elf and some of the modern classics. Christmas Vacation, is a classic to me. A Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my all-time favorites. I watch it for Halloween and Christmas. I'm just a sucker for that movie.
A lot of people use that. Yeah, they like that. I haven't seen it.
Charlie Brown Christmas. Like I gotta have it. I gotta have it. That one I've gotta have. That is a must. I would say that if I had to choose between hearing a certain Christmas song or watching that, it's a no-brainer. I'm taking that every day. I got to see that.
Boy, that's
Christmas
a great
tree.
answer.
I got to see the still dancing.
The music, it's fantastic.
All the music. Yeah,
that's a great one.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say probably It's a Wonderful Life when it comes to movies. But when I was a kid, I watched all the Kris Kringle, Put One Foot in Front of the. That was great. Charlie Brown was a staple every year. Absolutely love it. Love Vince Guaraldi and the music. So
It's a Wonderful Life helped me completely understand Jimmy Stewart's life and career a lot better. My Nana, my Papa were big fans of his. I didn't feel like I quite got it. I understood he was good, but I didn't quite get it. I got the chance to play George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. And
oh, nice.
I went back and watched it afterwards, and just really the layers that guy had and the depth that he had. I love, my favorite of his is still The Shootist. I really do. My mom is a big John Wayne guy. So I like that a lot, but his work, and especially that run he had there, where it's just almost like boom, 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 just amazing work after amazing work.
He's great. And I will say, I didn't see It's a Wonderful Life until I was in my early 20s. And my wife was like, a girlfriend at the time said, I insist you watch this. You have to see it. I'm like, you're right. I don't know why I haven't. And the scene where he feels like his world is falling apart and he's hugging his daughter and his face is just like, I just started bawling. I could not believe how much that film affected me and made you take notice of your life and what brought you to this place. It's so great. Hey, we got to do this again, buddy. This was fun. I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you for having
me. Anytime. Let's circle back soon and talk some more movies and radio. Love it, bud.
Sounds good. Have a great night, man.
You too. All right. That's James Maloff. If you are in central Wisconsin, check out everything they do at WFAR. WFHR, I'm sorry. Award-winning station. They won a slew of awards. They do great work there. If you are in the area, definitely turn on your radio and listen to what they're doing because it's great stuff. Radio for Pets will be here in a few minutes. Con, what do we do here? I got to play a clip. I feel like I'm, do we have a quick one?
The True Romance one.
Oh, this is Brad Pitt on his birthday. Let's do that. It's Brad Pitt's birthday today. I don't even know if he was credited, but he was in True Romance as a stoner, and the bad guys, I think James Gandolfini, shows up looking for Christian Slater and finds his roommate, who is Brad Pitt, and he's just stoned out of his mind.
Hi.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
You Dick?
No.
Dick Ritchie?
No, he's not here right now.
You live here?
Yes, I do.
His sort of roommates?
Exactly, roommates.
Yeah, well, maybe you can help me. I'm looking for a friend of mine. Clarence Worley from Detroit. He's traveling with a real pretty girl named Alabama.
Oh, yeah, man, I know him. They've been by here.
You seen them?
Mm-hmm.
They staying here?
No, they're staying at the Safari Motel Inn. Safari Motel.
Safari Motel?
Yeah.
How do you know that? I mean, have you been over there?
No. Well, they were here, and they said that they were going to go there. Then they went.
Yeah?
Yeah, Safari Motel.
Safari Motel.
Uh-huh. Hey, you want to watch some TV or something? They might be back here.
No, thank you. Thank you, then.
Okay.
All right, you take care. I might be back.
Yeah, man. Okay, be cool. Condescend me, man. Kill you, man.
That is my favorite. It's like 2 minutes, but it's like my favorite Brad Pitt role. Happy birthday, Brad Pitt. All right. Radio for Pets is coming up next, folks. They will be here in studio, just like they were a few months ago. We had so much fun. We had to invite them back. They're here. We're going to cut out just a minute early here so they can get set up. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Here comes my happiness again, right back to where it should have been, 'cause now she's gone and I am free, and she can't do a thing to me. I just wanna dance the night away with senoritas who can sway. Right now tomorrow's looking bright, just like the sunny morning light. And if you should see her, please let her know that I'm well, as you can tell. And if she should tell you that she wants me back, tell her no, I gotta go. I just wanna dance the night away with senoritas who can
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW. The Todd Alba Show.
Luke Mathers, you let the dogs out.
I let the dogs out. It was me. After about 15 minutes, I go out there and I'm like, what is this mound? An opossum playing dead in the middle of the yard. I'm out there kind of hollering, like trying to corral the dogs. And then we finally got Aurora to come in the house, stepped away for a little bit, came back and was gone. But I really hope that it remembers this traumatic experience and never comes back in my yard again.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Mino and the Mayor.
I'm going to admit something that I normally would not admit. A lot of times I don't wear underwear.
We got to go to a break.
I don't have a cart, and I'm carrying this stuff.
Yeah.
I got my finger in the loop, holding my pants up, because they would literally go down. And twice, people stopped me. Hey, John Mino, as I'm trying to hold my pants up and hold my stuff in my arms.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday mornings 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 WISS.
Fear you may be missing out? We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. Enjoy listening live or catch up by finding the podcast at civicmedia.us or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts.
That first time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all the fatherhood's first, never stop.
Hey, this is John Legend, and you're listening to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba.
All right, so it's Keith Richards' birthday. He's like 81. He's had like 50 blood transfusions. The guy just keeps ticking. He wrote that intro for Satisfaction, which I think is so great, on the guitar, and it's a great lead-in for my next guest. They are here. They've been here They were here a few months ago. Rock the place. So much fun to talk about. They're a local punk band called Radio for Pets. Sam Morgula, Rick Kugley, and Billy Block are here in the studio. Guys, how are you?
Doing fantastic. How are you, Pete?
Good. It's so good to have you guys back here. Thanks for doing this. I know, who lives in Green Bay?
Me.
Billy, just you?
Just me.
Okay.
And Adam. Yeah, our bass player also lives here, but he's not with us.
We don't know where he is.
No.
I hope he's okay.
He's very sneaky.
His stage
Yeah,
presence
geez.
is the same as his on-air presence. It's
Non-existent?
just- he's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We think.
And Rick, where are you from?
I live in Appleton.
Okay, so that's pretty close. But is it difficult when because I know Sam lives up close to me in the Marinette area. And are you from there originally?
Originally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have no idea how cool I think it is that there's a punk band primarily from Marinette, Wisconsin. Because I don't associate Marinette with punk music.
Sure.
And Adam's from Peshtigo.
See, that's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you make of that? It's all country, classic rock up there. How did you guys find punk?
I really think it's a age range kind of
Okay.
thing. I all of my peers in high school, like especially when I was going to high school, you had bands like Blink-182, Taking Back Sunday,
Yeah.
them kind of having like radio hits, you know what I mean? Like top 100, like pop hits, Green Day, that sort of thing. So I think my generation just kind of almost the same as like the Gen Xers with grunge before us. We all just kind of grew up with more rock music than anything else.
Yeah, when we were going through high school, like Bill and I are about the same age. Actually, we're like 2 months apart. There was countless high schooler only bands. Like Crivets had a battle of the bands where you had to have a member in high school to attend. And now I work a lot with kids still, and none of them. There's not a single band at all. And there was a venue that it would only be for like young underagers. One underage venue in the area was in Menominee. It's since burned down. And that's where all of the shows were, because you can't play bar gigs when you're 16,
Right.
17. So you would always continually play this one place that was terrible, but it was filled. There was tons of local bands, and Bill and I both can talk novels about all the history of these bands and who was in them and where they're at now and how many kids they have now. And
I had no idea there was that much history there in that area for local bands. Did you guys go to Marinette High School or Menominee?
I was Menominee.
Okay.
I was Marinette.
Okay. Marinette, Sam.
Yeah, 09.
You're a Marine.
Yes,
no
sir.
kidding.
Yeah, loud and proud.
This is exciting. All right. So, hey, we have to do a break in about I don't know why I had you guys on at 7:20. That's my bad. But we have to do a break in about 5 minutes. Can we squeeze a song in before we go to break?
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys, whatever you want to play. Radio for Pets is in the studio. They're one of my new favorite bands. Love these guys. They are here, and they're going to rock out right now with, what are we going to hear?
This song is called About Nothing.
About Nothing.
You can find it anywhere music is online. Look us up. It's on our EP, One Hitter Wonder. And yeah, we'll take it away.
I guarantee you will like this song, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Don't know what's in this drink. Some random guy just handed it to me. But I assume it's made of rocket fuel from the way my heart's been beating since you looked at me. She asked, hey, are you okay to drive? 'Cause I'm leaving soon and you can tag along if you like. How do you feel about stargazing on the roof of my van? We can just sit and talk about nothing. Feels like floating down freeways, exploring back roads in cornfields while watching your hair blowing. We stop at nowhere, feels like we both belong here. I'm rarely shy or nervous, but my shaking hands both feel useless. You lay your head on my chest, list the reasons that your life's a mess. Well, so is mine. I hold you close as you start to shake. It's early spring, but I can see your breath. Screw these Wisconsin nights. Purple skies with fireflies and all the cliches that come to mind. Let's both stay here tonight, forget our lives outside of this. My head's swimming in cheap beer, but it'd be pretty rad if we could just sleep here.
We'll be right back with more Radio for Pets. Awesome, guys. We're coming right back after the news. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Just one day after the school shooting in Madison, the Guilford's Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence released its annual gun law scorecard. Wisconsin received a C in this year's report card. According to their 50-state analysis, states with stronger gun laws have lower gun death rates. In the report's rankings, Wisconsin finished 22nd in gun law strength out of 50 states and 35th in gun death rate, with nearly 13 gun deaths per 100,000 residents. Meanwhile, a recent report by the Center for American Progress found that gun violence is on the decline in Wisconsin this year. According to the report, the state saw nearly 17% fewer gun violence homicides through the first 8 months of 2024 compared to the same time frame in 2023. Some officials have credited programs like the Wisconsin Community Safety Fund grants for providing the resources to address gun violence. We found out there was an oil pipeline spill in November in southwestern Wisconsin. Will that affect gas prices? Here's Civic Media's Jimmy Kuska.
A November oil spill in Jefferson County from an Enbridge pipeline is estimated to be around 1,700 barrels, a relatively small number, according to Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy.
Line 6B carries roughly 667,000 barrels of oil per day. So to put this 1,650 barrels into context, that is less than 1/5 of 1 percentage point of the amount of oil this pipeline carries.
DeHaan says the spill won't affect oil or gas prices.
About 1,700 barrels is pretty small for impacting the price of oil. So this will have no impact on oil prices at all.
DeHaan added that with the debate over permits for the Line 5 pipeline in northern Wisconsin, closing that pipeline could cause oil and gas prices to significantly increase in Wisconsin and Michigan.
I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. If you're looking for a new show to binge, here's one of Pete's picks. I highly recommend The Day of the Jackal on Peacock. I just finished the series, and it didn't disappoint. The show stars Eddie Redmayne as the Jackal and Lashana Lynch as a detective chasing him across Europe. The show does not conform to stereotypical norms when it comes to likability for its characters, which is refreshing. Both lead characters are interesting, and the first season ends unapologetically and a bit shockingly. The table is set perfectly for season 2. Highly recommend. Even though Wicked is still in theaters and will continue raking in the big bucks through the holidays, there is already buzz about Wicked 2 and its title. The sequel has been named Wicked for Good. The title was revealed by Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, who spilled the beans on their social media platforms. The film has already been shot, but Wicked fans will have to pace themselves. It doesn't open in theaters until next November. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Winter storm warning for 5 to 10 inches of snow starting late tonight and through Thursday night. Some blowing snow with a gusty breeze. Low tonight in the mid-teens, high tomorrow upper 20s. Colder for the rest of the week and into the weekend. Right now it's 22.
Ho-ho, the holidays are here, and it's time to pick a present from the grown-up gift list with Civic Media's statewide text-to-win contest. Listen while you work for the keywords to text for your chance to win $100 cash, an overnight vacation at Chula Vista Resort, and be entered to win one of the grand prizes, a robot vacuum, new luggage, humidifier, espresso machine, and more on the grown-up gift list at civicmedia.us. Just download the Civic Media app and listen weekdays at 7, 11, 1, and 4 for your chance to win in the statewide contest. Ho, ho, ho!
From the Lake Shore to Lake Winnebago.
Or to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live. Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app. Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, Kevin Solomon from Common Ground will be joining us to talk about what is going on with the Milwaukee.
Welcome back. It's not too late to answer our question tonight. What is your favorite Steven Spielberg movie? It is Steven Spielberg's birthday. We've had a lot of great answers so far. We will continue to read them throughout the night. But right now, we're hanging out with, I would say, Conrad, would you say that Radio for Pets is, let's just say, one of our favorite bands here at Nite Lite?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great to have them. These guys are in the studio. Rick Hoogley, Sam Wargula, and Billy Block are here performing. You guys just did a really cool song called About Nothing. I love that song. But you're a punk band, but I know you're biting the bullet and coming here just to play acoustic, just to be here. I appreciate that a lot. Next time you're here, we'll figure out a way to plug you guys in. But is it hard doing that, going acoustic? Because it sounds great. I love the combo of the electric guitar of Rick and Sam on the acoustic. That's a really great sound.
It's a struggle.
Is it?
A little bit.
Doesn't sound like it.
Translating some of the stuff, because you can't do certain things on the guitar electric wise that you can, or vice versa. You can't do them on acoustic as you could on the electric. Like that song is a lot of this, and it's not the same kind of deal.
Okay.
Yeah, and timing. Timing is rough.
It sounded awesome.
Yeah, I find myself while we were playing, like watching Rick's foot tap and making sure
I
I'm
was
tapping.
watching your foot.
Yeah.
It's like counting money when someone starts naming numbers and you get lost.
Yeah, last time we played, Bill had a tambourine, so that helped a lot. But this time you didn't bring it, so shame on you.
So Bill? You write the lyrics, Bill, mostly?
Yeah. Again, usually I write the lyrics and then kind of like the baseline of what his parts are. Like I kind of make the initial structure, like the choruses, the verses, and then they make it actually interesting to play on guitar, because my guitar skill is like mediocre and intermediate, you know.
Yeah. Well, you got good guys behind you. You don't have to really probably go there.
I barely need to think when they're around. It's great. Yeah.
So who writes the music? You get the lyrics done, then you take it to these guys, and they build sort of a.
The composition usually it's very collaborative. Again, not like a hard and fast, like this is how we do it every time. Because sometimes I will go nuts and write a symphony and then be like, we have to put this in a song, guys. And they look at me like I'm crazy.
I think most of the time it's Bill starting off with like an acoustic version, basically.
Okay.
And then we electrify it. And then here we are going back to
acoustic. Yeah.
So you guys have a date coming up in Appleton. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we are playing January 4th at a venue in Appleton called the Study Hall. It's honestly one of my favorite. It's this like nice, cozy little hole in the wall place. I think it's in like a what's the word
Strip
for
mall.
that? It's like a strip mall.
Yeah, next to a Little Caesars. Yeah.
But like the crowds there are always so warm and welcoming, and the lady who owns the place is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
they treated us really well last time. I was impressed.
Yeah,
they bring over Little Caesars pizza between sets.
That'd be nice. Actually, one of the few shows, if not the only show, I think I've played with Radio for Pets where there's been a tip jar.
Yeah.
Oh,
which has
nice.
that actually made a good amount of money too. That was surprising.
So, all right. So you said you're kind of an introvert a little bit, or not introvert, but you like you're a homebody, whatever. How are you at live gigs? Like, do you throw yourself into it when you're here? I imagine it's the same thing when you're live. You just must really get into it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I am mostly a shut-in unless my band is playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Like shows and concerts have always kind of been my main social outlet. Otherwise,
Yeah. Don't let them undersell you. It's like people will come to our shows because the music's good, but like we know we're selling Bill on stage.
All
like
right.
his shirt rarely stays on. I've seen him roll around on the ground in what I'm pretty sure was my old spit.
Yeah.
That was
now that sounds like punk rock.
Yeah, that was at that Green Bay Festival just a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen Bill show up to a gig, go, I got an hour of sleep last night, and I feel sick and horrible, and then just gets on stage. And
by far the most energy out of any of us, easily.
That's awesome.
I do I see my job primarily like beyond just the art. I am an entertainer.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to put on a show, because if I and with my live performances, I'm I do like to do a good job with the singing and the parts, but like no one is. It's not like listening to a CD where you have someone like picking, like really listening and picking apart. At a live show, you get to bring so much more to the table than just the music, and it's like my favorite part about it.
That's so cool. What do you guys want to play next?
You're tuned for running. Okay. This song is called "Running Is for the Birds," and it is.
You good for it?
I'm pretty sure I remember how to play it.
Sorry, I saw a little fear to my left.
All right, Radio for Pets.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got it.
Running is for the birds.
I got it.
Ready? Crush my skull against the pavement, let my brain ooze out, and show every passerby everything I think about. Painting pretty pictures out of red and gray, swirling into sentences I'm not sure how to say. This summer's been too long already, think I need a break. Every day I'm piling on more and more mistakes. I drink too much, I smoke too much, I'm losing all my friends. I'm not sure how this started, but I'm pretty sure I know how this ends. I wanna show you something I'm not sure you'll understand. All the voices in my head are making strange demands. They say paint a piece of modern art using only words. Really hope the crowd is made of sweaty English nerds who tear apart my sentences and maybe comprehend all the subtle warning signs and run and tell my friends. But I'm not sure they're capable, so take me at my word. They'll just say, take it easy, man. Running is for the birds. Running is for the birds. Running is for the birds. We're all just I'm blanking so hard. One more time, here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
He's got it.
We're all just petty little things climbing towards the top, tripping over corpses of those who didn't know when to stop. But poetry is all I have, so I'll force my creaking bones for a single chance to sit atop the throne, so I don't die unknown. So everyone who's here has finally heard my little plea, all exchanging theories on my cracking sanity. Well, a cozy little padded room is maybe all I need. Instead, I have a stage and all of you to agree. Something's very wrong with Bill, he should really get some help. Well, assuming it'd be too awkward to walk up and ask yourself, hide behind the fog machines, the blinding lights and such. Guard my tongue a little better, cause I might have said too much. I might have said too much. I might have spoken too.
Great job. That was fun.
Whoopsie.
It's tough when you actually have to like sing it like that. That's the thing. It throws you off.
What do you mean?
Well, I feel like this setting makes me have to like think about it more, because half of that song is just like I'm kind of yelling. I'm not like I'm still hitting notes and stuff, but it's a lot more like a little bit more anger in it.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
And like so much, especially these older songs that we've kind of done, like we don't really practice them. Like they just, we're at the point where it's like, I don't know how they go until we start. And then my fingers just go to the right spot. It's like, okay, I just trust every time. It's like, yeah, it'll be fine.
So you have a new album coming out. How many albums have you put out?
None.
Okay, so it's just files, just songs.
Yeah, well, we have one single and then a 4-song EP. That we put together 2 years ago now, 3 years ago.
I wasn't
Yeah,
there.
he wasn't even in the band yet.
It's been out for about 2, yeah.
2 years. Yeah. So we're hopefully, as long as the drummer hunt goes okay, we're going to be in the studio by March and have an album out sometime this summer.
That's exciting. So how do you go about finding a new drummer? Other than saying it on this show and hope people are listening, I'm sure you guys have connections. And
Well, yes. Actually, you at home, if you're interested, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, and there is a post there with some information about what we're looking for, and send us a message. These days, that's really it. Putting up like flyers at the local college, like music department, music stores, that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's still very like outside of social media being involved as well.
Yeah,
it's still just the classic like, here's my phone number, rip it off, and send me a text message.
I think
right?
that's how I auditioned. I think was a Facebook post.
Yeah,
I saw, and I was like, oh, I know these guys. Let me just jump on in and.
So how does it? I'm just curious. How does it draw? Let's say you have like 3 guys that answer an ad. Do you play with them, or do you just have them come in and start wailing? Like, what's that process like?
I think again, to each kind of band has their own sort of thing. But I have a pretty strict is the wrong word. But just an audition process. So like, I'm sending anyone who wants to audition the same, basically 3 tracks.
Okay.
And saying like, one of them is one of our old ones where I'm just like, I want to hear you like just learn it as is, because that one is written already. A cover song, just because we play those every once in a while, and then we're also sending one of our unreleased demos with no drums on it, and just saying, I want to hear what you come up with.
Like,
I want to get a sense for like your style.
Yeah. Because the recording it is going to require, probably 3 to 5 songs that need drum parts written. Like we know basically what it's going to sound like, but a drummer is going to be able to write what they want to do with those songs, which we'll have to reinterpret the whole song after they come up with their part, because we might subtly change things once the rhythm gets set.
Is it true? Like I have a friend who is fairly accomplished, pardon me, and he told me that the drummer drives the band or drives a song, like the drum beat. Is that where it starts?
Yeah, like the rhythm. I think the rhythm section in general. I think the drum and the bass kind of set the foundation for everything. Because I mean, like the rhythm of the entire song needs to follow kind of like what the drummer's doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it sounds like a mess.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's great. Radio for Pets is here. It's Rick Kugley, Sam Wargula, and Billy Block. They are playing in Appleton on January 4th at the Study Hall. Sounds like a very boring venue, but I'm sure that will change when Radio for Pets takes the stage. Hopefully you guys will play one more after we do a short break here.
Oh, absolutely.
We got a few more minutes when we come back from the break, but I want to read this text before I forget. Craig on the stream says, while it was butchered by fans and critics alike, I really enjoyed 1941 when it first came out. It was supposed to be the first of a trilogy that never got done. Probably not my favorite, though. 1941 is underrated. I'm with you, Craig. And then Todd Michaels says, I have that T-shirt. Con, we missed. What were we talking about?
I think he was talking about James, his shirt.
Oh, he had the same T-shirt as James Maloff?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? I didn't notice.
It was I think it was a Wisconsin kind of radio shirt.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Todd, for keeping us abreast of your wardrobe. A T-shirt full of a closet full of T-shirts. I'm impressed that Todd noticed that T-shirt. That's so cool. All right, Radio for Pets is here. They're going to do another song when we come back. Tomorrow night on the show, Doctors in Recital will be here in the studio, and podcaster extraordinaire and comedian Jimmy Pardo will be making the popcorn pick of the week tomorrow night at 6:35. Another great night here at Nite Lite. Right now, we're going to do a very short break and come back with another tune from Radio for Pets in the studio on Wednesday night here at Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Maggie Dawn Show.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. Big news in Wisconsin this month, as much of the controversial anti-union Act 10 law was struck down in a ruling by Dane County Circuit Court Judge Jacob Frost. Two takeaways on this. One, the ruling gets at the heart of what has always made this law so brazenly political, by defining public safety employees differently from general public employees. That decision was pretty clearly made not based on across-the-board policy, but on which unions backed Scott Walker for governor in 2010. It would be fitting if that is what ultimately spells the end for this controversial law. Secondly, this case is headed to an appeal, which almost certainly will end up at the Wisconsin Supreme Court. While this case still might be decided by the court's current 4-3 liberal majority, it's a good reminder of just how important the upcoming race for state Supreme Court will be.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area and on our website at civicmedia.us.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Mino and the Mayor.
You ever really want to get back at me?
Well, you're claustrophobic. That would really.
Oh, God.
Oh, that would be tough for you.
The worst.
You would talk like that.
Get
that.
this.
Absolutely.
Get this. Put him in a drum and throw him in the water. He's claustrophobic and he can't swim.
Yeah.
I think we can get anything we wanted out of you.
Anything.
All right, Todd, mental note.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday morning 6 till 9 on 97.9.
Welcome back. We have a few more minutes left. We got Radio for Pets, Rick Kugli, Sam Wargula, and Billy Block in the studio helping me close down the show here tonight with some really kick-butt music. And I'm trying to think. God, I have so many questions for you guys, and I don't know where. We just have a few minutes left. Tell me what, okay, on your website or your Facebook page, it says the band your dog told you about and your cat describes as so tight it's barely even punk anymore. Tell me what that statement means. I love it, but I don't understand it. It's like a Sondheim play.
That's kind of a reference to, I think, in like the punk community especially, there's a lot of like the what's the word I'm looking for? The energy is usually like, it doesn't really matter if you're playing good as long as you're loud and emotional, right?
Yeah.
And I make sure that we're loud, emotional, and also just the absolute tightest band that we can be. I love, like, I want to make sure the band behind me, because I'm so all over the place all the time, I really want to make sure the band behind me is like playing absolutely perfect.
Yeah. All right, great answer. You got one more tune in you, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. This song is probably one of the longer ones off of our new
we've got about
Birthday.
4.5 minutes. Can we make it work?
Oh yeah, it'll fit.
Fantastic. All right, what is this song called?
This song is called "Entropy Like a Mother Beeper."
As long as we say beeper, I think we're okay. It's live radio. Conrad, be ready.
All right, you want to count this one in, or?
Here we go.
Pour one out for my dead friends. They aren't actually dead. We just don't quite talk anymore. It's not anything they've done. I'm just not sure I like who they've become. Middle school memories of getting high in bedrooms and basements, doing things I still regret. We were just too young to know better. I'm scared to let go of who I used to be, but I think I'm losing everyone I love because I'm insecure and I'm not the person they expect, but they're just too wrapped up in me to really notice. I know be a better man. I mean, really try and change for the better. Get on my meds and try. I could be a better friend. I could finally grow up and be everything you think I'm not. Everything my family said I could be. And maybe I'll surprise you when I take the blame for things I do, instead of blaming all of it on you. Maybe if I try, everyone will see me for the things I could be. I need to let go of who I used to be, 'cause I'm scared of losing everyone I love, because I'm insecure that I'm not the person they expect. They're just too wrapped up in me to really notice. I know we have things to do. Shut up. And maybe someday you might. Shut up! I don't know if I can grow. Just for now, I'll stay out late, come home drunk, complicating that I can change.
Nice replacement words.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't think about it until
Did you say complicate at the end?
Yeah. I had to think of the right amount of syllables.
That was good. That was great. Radio for Pets live here on Nite Lite tonight. Do you guys have, we have about a minute. Conrad, about a minute? Okay. Who are your influences musically?
Personally, bands that I keep coming back to are probably like The Cure, Bauhaus, the Dresden Dolls, Say Anything. That one comes up a lot because everyone says I sound like the guy from the band Say Anything a lot.
What about the Femmes?
Violent Femmes.
Were you fans of them?
Oh man, I think that's one of those, I know like their radio hits, and that's basically.
Yeah.
I did see them in concert here when they came through. Oh my God, like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. It was a fantastic show. They had the biggest like tuba I think I've ever. They came out with like this brass instrument that was just
excellent.
like 8 feet taller than the guy playing it.
You guys are great. Thank you for coming in. Next time we will try. Conrad, can we get them plugged in next time? Do you think we can handle that?
I'm not sure. We'll see.
Spoken like a, I don't know.
I think that means if you pay him better.
Conrad can make. He's a guy. I found this. He likes to lower expectations, but then he's going to make it happen. So he exceeds expectations. Right? Would you say that's accurate? Okay. All right. Radio for Pets. Thanks a lot, you guys. We'll hopefully do it again soon. This is Pete Schwaba, Nite Lite. Have a great night, everybody. Good night, Wisconsin.